Alright, so just so you guys are aware, this is a PS5 behind me, and that is a banana. I picked this backdrop because it's funny. I'm like, why is there a banana there? I guess it's just like to show the actual size or whatever. I couldn't find really anything else. I did have a picture. I had the PS5 logo and what you call it. It was pretty nice and all that stuff, but can't find that. So I'm just gonna use this. This is what I can find at such short notice. Um, I feel like only one person in the world had a problem with my Xbox review, and it's still there. I didn't delete it. I didn't block it or nothing like that. It's there. That one comment you can read right there, and obviously he doesn't know what type of broken I meant when I said after 6 months the Xbox is broken. There's two, there's more than two, but there's two terms to think of when you're describing something that's broken. There's the first one, the basic one that he was thinking about, when you're describing something that's damaged, you know. And then there's the other one where it seems like people aren't familiar with, but I've seen it and heard it used multiple times. When someone's describing something or someone that's broken, it usually means that they're overpowered. Okay, like if you watch anime and you're like, oh my god, that freaking dude is broken, bro. Like, come on, his moves are broken, dude. Not saying that he's damaged or that his moves are damaged, is that they're overpowered. Okay, that's what broken I was using, and I even put it in the comments. But like I said, that was only one person, one stupid comment, one idiot of the whole world population. And it seems like my channel is a magnet for idiots. But that's what I was talking about when I was using the word broken. He didn't get it. But we're not talking about Xbox. This is my PS5 review after 6 or 7 months. When it comes to its lifespan, I mean, you can't really get a lifespan on 6 months. But when it comes to the people that were having problems, the people where PS5s were crashing, when you put it in rest mode, when you leave a disc in there and turn it off or put it in rest mode, all that never happened to me. So I feel bad for those people, but luckily that didn't happen to me, and I never really put it to the test. If anything, it just put fear in my heart, so I never did those things. I never left the disc in there. I never really used rest mode because, yeah, it's not trustworthy. I told you before, I'll say it again. For the PS4 Pro, I never really used rest mode until the very end of the life cycle. When they announced the PS5, that's when I started using rest mode for the PS4 Pro. That's when I feel like, okay, it's been long enough. I feel like the bugs have gone. I feel like all the software has been up to date. I think we can start using rest mode now. That's it. Like I said, Xbox doesn't have a rest mode, doesn't need it. It's basically a PC. It's basically when you turn it off, it's technically not turned off because you can still hear it. I heard it last night too. I was on my PC and all you hear is a zoom, like a random kicking on sound. The light didn't turn on, but obviously there was an update for either a game, an app, or for the system itself, and it was running the update so that when you turn it on the next day and you're about to be like, you know what, I'm about to play some Apex or something, or I'm about to jump into Warzone real quick, you don't got to be like, oh, there's a 40 gigabyte update, now I have to wait, and by the time that update comes in, now I don't feel like playing that game anymore. So Xbox eliminates that. Okay, there is no rest mode. It's basically, even when you turn it off, it's still running when it needs to. There is a way to turn it off completely, shut it down, that doesn't require you to unplug it. You just gotta search it up on a video. I'll try to look for a video and put it in the description, but there is a way, and it's in the settings. But rest mode, I do not like, I do not trust for the PlayStation 5. Didn't trust it for part 4, don't trust it for part 5. It's way too early in life cycle. I'll probably trust it next year. Expandable storage. When it comes to the external drives that I used for my PS4, it was as easy as clicking eject on the PS4 before you unplug it. Click eject, then unplug it. And while the thing is on, the PS5 is on, plug it right into the back. Boom. It recognizes it. It notices that it's for PS4 games, and you can make it so that it only downloads PS4 games on there. So, and that's one of the other key components that I like about the PS5 is that from the start, since day one, it literally has an option in the settings where, hey, do you want to use this external drive for just PS4 downloads only? And I'm like, yes, I do. And then only download PS5 games for the internal? Yes, I do. Xbox later on did that, but PS5 definitely had it available day one, and I loved it. That was one of the main features that I liked about the PS5. The controller. Thank the God in heaven that they completely did a redesign, a revamp of the controller. I love it. And I'm not even talking about the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers and all that stuff. I love the design. Now the colors, I'm glad they finally came out with an all black version, but not talking about the colors, but talking about the design. Okay, the feel of it. It finally doesn't feel like a cheap controller. DualShock controllers have always felt like cheap controllers, and the price that they sold them for never matched the quality. Okay, first off, I like the little texture thing. You know, you stole it from Xbox, but it's still pretty cool. And I like how you have all the face buttons on here, on stuff. It gives it some grip. It's not the best grip. There are other grips out there, especially on Amazon, that are affordable but very good in quality when it comes to grips. But I don't have a problem with, the controller slipping out of my hand or something like that. Like, I'm not that hardcore of a gamer where I'm like, I'm doing this and this. Like, no, I'm just right here in my lap. Just that. The design is beautiful. I like how the touchpad, don't matter how close you look at it, is literally the same material as the, not really the base, but because the black, what's behind the black is actually the base. But with the rest of the white, whatever the specific material is called, I love it. Not to say I had a problem with the design for the DualShock, but it's subtle and it's hidden. Like if you were to introduce someone to gaming for the first time and you gave them this controller and showed them how to play with the PS5 and stuff, they would never suspect that this was a touchpad or a button regardless. Just looks like part of the body and part of the design. The internal mic is very smart. I'll tell you that, because a lot of people, including my nephew, does not own a microphone. They want to own a microphone, but because, they're kids and they don't have money like that, $100+ to get a nice microphone, it's nice to have that option. And the mute button is just right there. If you want to mute it, boom, you mute it. If you don't want to mute it, blah, blah. Is it the smartest thing? Especially the location of it? Not at all. Because it doesn't have that smart technology to only pick up your voice. It's a microphone on a controller. And what do you do with a controller? You're touching it. You're touching it. Some of you idiots are dropping it. But, you're playing on the controller. This is what you're doing with the buttons and the sticks. And I get that all the time when I try to use this microphone. is, yo, bro, I can hear you playing, my guy. Can you turn your mic off? Like, I know you're using a DualSense controller. Can you turn that mic off? So I just never have it on. I just use the PS5 headset that I have, and that's it. I never really use this. One of the main features besides the USB-C, thank you Sony. This is beautiful, especially now. I can start using my other USB-C cables for this instead of, just using them for the Switch. But I do like that the PS5 came with a nice, beautiful 6-foot USB-C cable, and then even the headset came with the same cable, same size. I love that. Thank you. One of the main features that I liked about the DualSense is this. You can't hear that. But if you look closely, it has friction rings. The only time you got friction rings on a controller is if a third party made a professional pro controller, or if you were an Xbox user and you decided, hey, I want to get the Elite controller. That's where you got friction rings on. One thing that I hated about all DualShock controllers is they had this same gritty, lazy design to where it was just plastic on plastic. And not just plastic on plastic, but the edge as to where the friction is, where the friction ring is now. Before, that was a sharp plastic edge. Like, you purposely made it sharp so that when you're using it over time, it would dig in to the thumbstick, and then eventually, if you're my brother-in-law, you snap it off. I keep telling him, I was like, dude, how the hell did you go through your thumbsticks? You haven't even had the PS4 for that long. So, oh man, I'm playing Madden. That's the only game you play. And it's Madden. The thumbsticks, no matter how hard you use them, don't make you a better Madden player, bro. Like, it doesn't make you faster, and it definitely doesn't help with, because you don't even use the thumbsticks to, like, juke people and to break people's ankles. Those are all in the triggers, those moves. So I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I can see if you were like a hardcore fighting game fan, I can see. Maybe even a Call of Duty person, I can see. But you're playing Madden, dude. That's the only game you're playing. I don't understand why you just broke sticks. Both of them. On Madden. But glad that they put friction rings on this thing. Okay? I'm completely satisfied with the design of the DualSense controller, and I hope that is going to lead Sony, not third parties, Sony, to later on in the PS5 lifecycle come up with their pro version of the controller. Okay? I've already seen people already, because another thing that I like is that there's so much space back here. So this gives third-party companies so much potential to mod the mess out of this controller. Okay, there's so much more free space. It's like a clean canvas just waiting to be painted on. So I've already seen people do the back buttons right here, or the paddle system being right here and then branching off into the long paddles. I've already seen it. Now, is it impressive to me? Not in the least, because it's still, people are still adjusting to the DualSense controller. And to be honest, I don't want to open up a DualSense controller because of the haptic feedback and adaptive triggers alone. There's more mechanical and moving parts in the controller. So all it takes is one wrong move and you screwed up the whole DualSense. It's not even a DualSense, it's just dual. Like, my brother-in-law, instead of waiting for me or giving it to me, he literally decided to open up the DualShock controller on his own to replace just the thumbsticks. And then he couldn't do it couldn't go through with it. So he just gave me what was left, and I tried my best. And I was like, dude, it won't close. Like, what did you do? It won't close. And then in the second controller still wouldn't close, but he already trashed that controller because when he took it apart, he didn't take it apart carefully, and he ended up ripping the ribbon cable that connects the touchpad to the controller. So I was like, now you need a new touchpad. You can buy it, just the touchpad alone on, like Amazon or something like that. But you might as well just buy a new controller. Like, I don't know why you went to all this limit and you couldn't even go through with it, and then you messed it up for me, so now I can't help you because you broke things. So all this trouble, you could have just bought a new controller. So the controller had me sold on it, and it just gives me hope that Sony will potentially come up with a pro version of the controller, And it doesn't even have to have, well, and now it does because now you have friction rings on here. But this is all I wanted. This is the only thing that I cared about Sony doing, was putting friction rings on the controller so that it extends the life cycle of the controller. But now, to make it a pro controller, number one, metal adjustable thumbsticks, and then remappable back buttons. That's it. Just literally, just take what you have and replace some of the weaker parts with higher quality parts. That's how you make a pro controller. And then obviously the button remapping on the back and all that stuff. And then that's it. Hopefully, when Sony for the PS4 allowed third parties to be licensed for them to do their pro version of the controller, it gave them insight on what to do and what not to do for the future. And then Sony gave us a little package, a little back paddle plug-in system for the DualShock controller that's not only affordable, but it's made and done by them, and some people like it. There's some pros and cons about it, but I haven't personally tried it, and I don't think I probably will. Maybe I will. Maybe if it's on like a Black Friday sale or something like that, I'll be like, okay, whatever, just buy it. But I'll let you know when I do. But I was given to me the Astro controller, and I liked it. I was a little disappointed because with all the space back there, it only gave you 2 back buttons. And then what disappointed me the most was that the life cycle of the sticks, actually, the dead zone just kept increasing until it was unplayable. But let's not get into that because I'm trying to talk about the PS5. So the PS5 has an internal slot for expandable storage, but it is not open yet. And I'll keep making that point. It's not open. It's not open. It's not open. It's not open. Xbox gave you an expandable option day one. And PS5, even though it's in there, they have not unlocked it only because there's nothing, and this is what they're saying, there's nothing on the market that can compete with the internal SSD. So, okay. If that was the case, why didn't you just make one? That's what Xbox did. They made something on the market to compete with their thing that literally shares the same amount of power, just in a portable card. Why didn't you do it, Sony? I'm not going to get into that. My next point is there's not a lot of PS5 games. I'm going to tell you that right now. And this is excluding third party. I'm talking about exclusive games for the PS5. What do we got? Sackboy, Ratchet, which, by the way, I've looked at the reviews and I've looked at people comparing it to other PS5 games. Ratchet & Clank is number 1. Number 1. Spider-Man is number 2. Miles Morales. Ratchet & Clank is number 1. So whoever is shitting on Ratchet & Clank, hey, the people love it. So I'll eventually get it. But we got Ratchet and Clank, Miles Morales, we have Sackboy, we have Demon Souls, Returnal, Godfall, which Godfall really isn't an exclusive, not just because it's on PC. It's a temporary exclusive. Why did this turn off? Where am I at? 20 minutes? Yeah, let me wrap this up. It's a temporary exclusive, meaning that it's going to be on Xbox literally in a couple months. So I don't know if you guys noticed that. I mean, Destruction All Stars was a free game. When it came out, it was a free game. I don't know why it's still on the store for being sold, but it was a free game. The Snack Farm or Snack whatever, that creepy ass low budget game was free as well. And I'm only naming games that are out, not games that are coming out. I'm naming games that are out right now from the top of my head. But that's pretty much it. That's all I can remember. And then PS Now, which, by the way, I looked into more, and I will give it a second chance, only to dive in, because it's been years. So now that I've acquainted myself with Game Pass, and I did the same thing for Game Pass. I never got Game Pass when it was first announced, not even the first year. I waited. Actually waited when they gave it away for like $1, and that's when I got into it. And PS Now, they'll give you, if you haven't done it before, they'll give you a 7-day free trial, and that's it. You got to pay for it after that. So now that it's been years and we're in a whole nother generation, I will give PS Now another shot, another chance, just to see where it's at. Because there's like 350 games on Game Pass, and then there's 402 games on PS Now. Now, hold on, that doesn't mean shit, because they could be just garbage games. And then I forget the number, but most of them are stream only. And this is what unsold me on the PS Now. When I tried to stream those games, oh my god. The lag, the input lag, the lag period, the pixel quality was terrible. Okay? I'm not going to stream those games. I've played stream games from Xbox on the xCloud, on my basic ass iPhone 6, my iPod, my laptop, my PC. No interruptions. Picture perfect quality. No input lag. No error, no kicking me out or nothing like that. I've always made sure that the Wi-Fi signal is strong and clear, to have no excuses, and it hasn't given me any excuses. But I'm going to try it again. I'm going to try PS Now again, especially the stream-only games, because, like I said, I feel more comfortable downloading the games because there should be no issue. But the stream games, I'm sorry, Sony needs some help. They need some help from, if y'all gotta borrow servers from Google or AT&T, something, because it's not there. I don't care what Wi-Fi you have in your house. I don't care what phone you got, what service you got. Their streaming capabilities is not there. Okay, even with remote play, it is very, very choppy in quality. Okay, doesn't matter if you have the PS5 or the PS4 Pro, whatever you're on, remote-wise, it's so choppy. Okay, it's not going to be crystal clear. So Sony definitely needs to work on that. And then Xbox already has them when it comes to day one exclusives available, third party day one available. um, the merging thing, because PS Now does not come with live, my guy. It does not. And if it does, correct me in the comments, but it does not come with live. It is a total separate service. With Game Pass, if you have 12 months of live and you just decide to get 1 month of Game Pass, it will merge it as soon as you put the code in, and it'll even ask you if you want to merge it as well. It merges it, and guess what? You got 13 months now of live and Game Pass. And that's with all of them. That's with the basic Game Pass. That's with Game Pass Ultimate. That's with PC Game Pass. The merging thing, I love it. And it makes sense because Game Pass already offers you live. So if you already have live, it's going to be like, okay, we'll just make a little sandwich here and just merge together and just give you the best of what you already paid for. Okay, PS Now is a total separate service. It is not a live service. It's not PlayStation Live or PlayStation Gold, whatever the hell it's called. It's a completely separate service, and I feel like it's really not worth my while. Okay, because just the basic Game Pass for $10 a month gives you more than what PS Now is giving you for $10 a month. Just saying. And they're giving you better, top quality performance. Okay, but xCloud is only available for those who have Game Pass Ultimate, just to be clear. But I'm gonna try PS Now so that I can, especially on the PS5, try PS Now to see what they've improved, what's still the same, and what games are on there that are not on Game Pass. Now, if PlayStation improves on these parts, and you know how Game Pass, I think it's Game Pass Ultimate that has EA Play. If PS Now gives you access to Ubisoft Play, now we're cooking with gas. Now we got a competition going on, but right now it's no competition. But I do like that PS5 comes with PlayStation, what is it called? PlayStation Collection for people that have the live service. And you have that nice little library of PS4 games to start with. I do like that. I like that a lot. That sweetened the deal when you're getting a PS5. It sucks that you can only get that with the PS5. It doesn't, with the PS4, but, you know, that's Sony. So, that's, yeah. The headset I love. It's comfortable. Definitely did good on the design. Definitely did good on the quality, especially with the sound and audio quality. But what they need to make in the next update, because it's a Sony headset, it's not a third-party headset. It's an exclusive headset. It's a first-party headset. They need to make it to when the headset is on and you have it, because it's weird. When you have the headset on, and it has a mute button, but you can barely find it because all the buttons feel the same. But when you press the mute button, the light will turn on. It'll let you know, hey, your headset's mute. It'll let you know on the screen. It'll let you know on the controller. Why not make it so that this can be the mute button for your headset? Like if the light's gonna come on the controller to let you know your headset is mute, then why not just have the button serve that function as well? I don't know. Food for thought. That should be the next update coming up. But other than that, they did pretty good with the Final Fantasy VII Remake. How they gave it away for free. And remember, the upgrade to the PS5 upgrade is free. So that's pretty dope. So I don't know why people would pay for that if they knew that. If they knew, hey, it's free. It was free, I think, last month or something like that. And then the upgrade is free. So it's basically a free game. PS5 basically gave it to you for free. So I'm glad I didn't buy it. But even though they're failing in PS Now, their PSN monthly free games are always top tier. I cannot lie. Cannot lie, cannot lie, cannot lie. They're always top tier. And people are always saying, yeah, the free monthly games on live for Xbox are shitty, but the PlayStation ones are actually pretty dope. Like, good third party and even first party games. And I'm like, yeah, Xbox is giving you shitty ass games because all the good ones are on Game Pass. And then you get shitty ass games and performance on PS Now because they're giving you, for people that have live service, top tier, free, good ass games on PS Live monthly. There's got to be balance in the universe, my guy. There's got to be balance. Okay? You can't what you call over here and then all be all the way down here. There's got to be balance. So that's pretty much what it is. It's a scale. It's a balancing scale. You can't be broken. You can't be OD. You can't be overpowered. So I gotta give them that. Especially since now with the PS5, now you're getting, I believe it's one. It changes to me every time. It's like one PS4 game, two PS5 games, or two PS4 games, one PS5 game. But you know, they're giving you stuff. They're giving you something. So that's probably why I haven't invested in PS Now today, because their monthlies are actually pretty freaking good. But other than that, the only physical games, I remind you, I only got 3 physical games for each next-gen console. The only 3 games I got for Xbox was the Ubisoft games that came out, because like I said, there's no Ubisoft Play that comes with Xbox Game Pass. It's EA Play. EA Play and now Bethesda, so I don't need to buy anything physical anymore. Unless it's Ubisoft. And then with PlayStation, I've only gotten physically Miles, Godfall, and Cold War. So I'll always get Call of Duty games for PS5. But that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think that's the end of my review. I've already gone on long enough, but that's my review. Remember, I had complaints about the sound that the thing was making in the beginning. They both made sounds in the very beginning, and then but Xbox soon later got quiet. The PS5, however, I feel like the only game that it gets loud with is the Call of Duty games, and that's it. And mind you, the Call of Duty games are the biggest games that take up the most space in your drive. So I can understand that. But any other games, it's not loud or rowdy at all. There are some things that you can do to make it quiet, but I'm not going to be opening up my PS5 anytime soon until we get an internal NVMe chip or whatever to put inside of it. But until that day comes, I'm not touching my PS5. Okay? Like I said, that thing, the shiny sheen black plastic that they always freaking go with, no matter what generation it is. You breathe on it wrong, it's gonna freaking just have a whole freaking white slash freaking scratch mark on it. So I try to touch it as much as possible. I literally have compressed air. If it gets too dusty, I'll just clean it off with the compressed air. I don't even want to touch it with a microfiber cloth, because microfiber cloth is what created those micro scratches in the first place. So stupid. They should have Sony should have just came up with a wax brand, like literally a brand of microfiber cloths, and then a wax specifically for your console, so that if you do get scratches, you just buff that right off with the new Sony wax gel. But other than that, Can't really complain about the design. I mean, I can. It's big as hell. It's bigger than the Xbox. But when it comes to stability, I've never put a PlayStation on its side. Never. It's always laid flat. But with this design, I'm not laying it flat because it's going to look retarded and take up even more space. So I'm glad that they gave us a stand. Because when it came to the Xbox One X and the Xbox One S, it showed them in the stand in the video and the trailers and all stuff, but it never came sold with it. It was always sold separately. Computer falling asleep again. Alright, I've reached my limit. That's my review for the PS5. Okay, not bad. You know, it's not terrible. But when it comes to when I got picked, it'll always be Xbox. Okay, until they start coming up with their games like God of War. Horizon looks pretty good. I think the Uncharted series is dead. I think it's retired. I'll be surprised if they bring it back. No word on Spider-Man 2. We got Ratchet and Clank. If you're not going to upgrade Ghost of Tsushima, dude, make part 2. Where's part 2 at? Okay? Last of Us doesn't need another game. It needs a multiplayer. Okay? You had it in part 1. Where's part 2's multiplayer at? What other games? There's a lot of PlayStation games, period, that are in the past. And since PlayStation is so pro about remasters, why aren't we getting remasters for any of those games? Like, I know we got Ratchet and Clank, but where's the I forget what the game is called, Jack and whatever. And we got a Crash remastered, but you can play Crash anywhere now. It's no longer an exclusive. You can play it on Xbox and the Switch. So that's weird. But there's a lot of exclusive back in the day, and there's a lot of studios that died off that could literally be revived by PlayStation if they really wanted to, especially since they're so pro on remastering games instead of coming up with new IPs. But that's my review. I'm just rambling on by now. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.